Yeah, so I'm in the UK. Matt's from US. So like London, New York, and Dubai. So we're spread out nicely.
Yeah, one's in lockdown, one's is I'm in absolute free zone by all means, and Matt's still enjoying his house.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, I think we're live now.
Okay, shall I share my screen?
Yeah, let's begin out there.
Let me just load it up here. Okay, can everybody see the screen?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we can.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm Atif from YOP and based in London, although our team is distributed, and I'll come to that when we get to the team slide. So YOP is DeFi for everyone, an all-in-one yield optimization platform and protocol. And then generally, if I give you a high-level introduction of how we got to developing YOP and building the project, it came out of a user frustration from myself, colleagues I know, people that I introduce, DeFi and the crypto space too. I've been involved in the space for nearly 4 years, maybe a bit longer. I've done a few big projects in the space. I've helped out. I've advised Ethereum with things in the Middle East. So I'm fairly kind of integrated into the crypto space. And that frustration has generally just come, over time, expecting the user interface to improve as the space kind of grows. But come, fast forward like to 2020, and we're still, I feel like, very poor on that kind of level of productivity and just generally in the industry. The quality, the level of the quality is quite low. If we look at products that have been acquired for large amounts of money, the interface is still quite poor compared to what is available in the traditional market and in the financial sector generally. So and I believe the technology is there for that kind of interface level to be much higher than where it is. So the YOP project is split into two core areas. One is the platform and the other is the protocol. Our platform is the main focus on the user interface, a better UX and UI, making it easy for people to access the DeFi marketplace. And this can be from people who are in the crypto space already, who want just a more seamless process, and for new people coming into the crypto space who have not used DeFi or crypto before. So it should be as easy for them, and it should be as interactive and appealing to people who are already in the crypto space. So the platform will be a mobile application initially, and then we'll sync it up with our desktop and web versions later on. And the platform is powered by a token, and this is where our protocol comes into play, where we believe the protocols that have been developed so far, the successful ones, like YORN and Uniswap, the automated market makers, these are all single trick kind of protocols for the DeFi space. And I mean, if you look now recently, since we started this project, this is a fast moving space, but YORN has started to kind of figure that out and make moves and start to, collect and make partnerships with the right, I guess, the partnerships by adding SushiSwap and adding Cream and increasing their portfolio, because you fast realize that people who build the protocols in the space, they're generally not commercial or front end kind of individuals. So that's where our protocol will not just act as an aggregator, but then add layers of customization into that, where people can automate their processes. They can protect themselves against impermanent loss. They can customize, at which level their staking goes into a contract and comes out of a contract. And this is why we kind of tag the two sections. On one, you can access every token and every pool through the swap DEX and through the DeFi marketplace. And on the other side, ultimately, we want you to be able to access every blockchain and every reward program that's available out there. Through our kind of ultimate aggregation through yield protocol. So our yield platform connects you into the DeFi marketplace. We have a swap decks built in the same application. We have a native wallet, same in the application, so you don't have to use a third-party provider and go out and then come back in to authorize your transactions. We have market data, so you don't have to leave the application to see what's going on, see what the price action is, see what the latest news is on a particular coin, so you don't have to go off the platform for that. And then we have a dashboard, which basically gives you a summary and is customizable to allow you to see exactly what's going on with your transactions, what's going on with where you've deposited funds, and where you're going in and out of yield contracts. Then our protocol is the underlying technology that automates this process and takes all the hard work away from you. So rather than you going to multiple different platforms again, and staking and unstaking your coins, authorizing your wallet on different platforms, our protocol automates this, and it aggregates all of the APYs that are available. And the other things that we're looking at into that as we develop this and research it further, and as the innovation kind of happens, we pick up on that, and we're trying to put that in, and stay kind of responsive to the market, is a lot of automation is required, I believe, to make it easier for the users. So where there's spikes in APY, we can kind of alert the user. They can set parameters around that if they want to go for a more higher risk strategy, they can go for that. If they want to go for a low risk strategy, it could start at just something simple as just being an LP on Uniswap or on another swap DEX, where they're just earning off the transaction layer, right? And then from there, we kind of level it up, and we educate the customer at the same time, but then we add bonus and we add rewards into our protocol and program. So the YOP token, we'll operate a freemium service for the application. The base layer is free, but then as we tier it with like almost a VIP club to access certain protocols and pools, then the YOP token will be baked into that to allow you to benefit from not just the underlying yield protocol that you're engaging with, but then a reward with YOP. So you have a counterbalance of one, the supply coming out from this side, and then users getting reward from the other side. So there's a paper coming out from us soon about the more technical details of our protocol and our token, how it functions within that. And I think that will be really exciting, because we've been looking at this for a while now, just to scope as much of what's currently available, but then where does DeFi go in the coming 6 months to 1 year to 2 year, and what's the possibilities, and we want to adapt to that. And because it's a fast changing space, we want to be there with our underlying tech, and we don't just want to be a platform which is a front end and an aggregation service just that connects you to these other protocols. We want to make use of it, most of it ourselves as well. So that's kind of a highlight for our platform and our protocol. Generally, the problem and the reason why we're doing this, big problem obviously with the user interface and the user experience with these platforms. The fluctuations in yield and protection against the market. I think people rolling into contracts that are not audited. They don't know where they're kind of going into, and then we've got this scenario of so many rug pulls happening. So again, going back to which user has a risk appetite for higher risk, where there's unaudited contracts open for access, and then which user is kind of maybe newer and has a lower kind of appetite for high risk and wants to go low risk, and only goes with the audited contracts which are fit and proper for purpose. So this, at the moment, the big issue we see is just a bit of a mishmash, and the people who are very technical and deep into DeFi and yield farming, they understand this very well. But I even know people within the crypto space who have been around for many years now, and they look at it and they still kind of, oh, okay, but so what do I really do here? And do I get involved in this one and do a deposit here? And I don't. So bringing that all into one single platform is going to make it very, very easy for the users. And we believe that will give traction to the novice and the expert user alike. The competition for us, again, is split into two areas. We did a competitive study on our platforms, Generally, the platforms are split into two areas. One is the custodial type. BlockFi and Celsius probably lead that market. And then our competitors more closely related to us would be the non-custodial, like Argon, who still give you access to your funds and don't offer a custody service. So staying with the premise of DeFi, there's this strange term going around, I guess, which is people call CeFi, right? With centralized finance within decentralized finance. Doesn't really make sense to us. So we want to stay core to that and stay, kind of non-custodial and open source as much as we can with the application. And the only kind of IP that we're building is for our own script and our own logic for the application. But everything else, as is in the industry, should be open source. So they're the kind of platforms, and we've kind of listed a few there that we believe are kind of okay-ish at the moment, but still not brilliant. And then the protocols, all the leading DeFi protocols we've been opening up, we've been dissecting, looking at, and reviewing, and see, going back to what I said at the beginning, these protocols have individual benefits, but they don't all collectively offer a complete financial solution. And that's what I think the user will want. And definitely, I think that's when we start to get millions of users on these applications within the DeFi space, that's where they will come to. And then that goes, I guess, on to a little bit about how we're positioned as a project. We've opted for funding primarily from the two sources. We split them. One was the traditional financial institutional investors, and one within the crypto space. So we just announced today that we've secured funding from a publicly listed company in London, investment company, Perez Investments PLC. And these guys, are traditional investors, rigorous process with lots of paperwork back and forth, due diligence, tech reviews, checking really what we're doing. You can't really do a rug pull on a PLC, so you have to really be, a thorough kind of bred project and know what you're doing before you go into that. But it's been good. We've kind of planned for that later on, but we did it earlier because the opportunity came up. And with that on one side, and then our crypto investors, Magnus is our kind of early lead investor on that side. With the expertise there, if you combine those, it really gives the project the ability to, build the technology and the protocols within the crypto space, gather the base users there, and then with our traditional institutional investors to scale this up and really take it. And we kind of say that we're akin to the Robin Hood of DeFi, and that's what we really want to make this application. It might not be 100% clear to the individual looking at it today, but where we see it is really making this into a unicorn and taking it to a level where we have millions of users and we really build it. But we're a step-by-step process. We've been in production for a few months. Our first version of our application will roll out Q1 next year. So we probably ship end of January, middle of February for our first version. And then as that rolls out, we'll keep on, updating that and introduce more and more features into the various versions that follow that. But the scaling process really comes once we've got a base community. We want to go to traditional companies and, using our investors there and partners there to say, where can you bring us those next 100,000 users from? And there are financial institutes that are very interested in that, because generally they see their demographics are, the millennials are not interested in the traditional centralized financial products. They want digital economy, and the biggest digital economy is the crypto space, right? And it's only going to grow. So if you're in this for the next 10 years, you can see where the space is going and where the appetite is going to come from and where there's users going to come from. This just a little bit gives you a bit more about our token. We're a net deflationary asset. So as the users grow in our platform, more and more tokens get locked up. More tokens get locked up as we introduce more and more staking protocols and contracts. So generally, as the app grows, less supply in the market, and then that creates a bigger demand for our token overall, and driving the fundamentals of our token. And then that kind of, that's why we say YOP is YOP is powered by the token, and the protocol is powered by the token, because there's a true utility there, and we're not just kind of adding a layer of the token there. We want the token to really truly be functional within the platform. These are our products. I'll quickly go through them. So the farmers market gives you access to all the DeFi markets, gives you automation, customization, all the parameters that any novice or expert user alike would want in their financial services. The next one is our swap DEX. Version 1 will kind of aggregate and will lead with Uniswap and bring all the liquidity in from the current providers. And then version 2 will start to move some of that liquidity over onto our own DEX. Our wallet will be native ERC20 at the beginning, and later we'll integrate other networks. Again, the wallet in the application, so you don't have to use a third-party provider to sign a transaction when you're going in and out of contracts. This is something that doesn't exist today, where you have all this kind of tools that you need to access DeFi within one platform. Our market data, we believe, is really a compelling product on its own as well, because smart market analysis by scrolling and scripting through all the transactions that are happening on chain and giving users deeper insights into the market. If you look at the leaders today, that kind of give you coin market information, they're still way behind in terms of what the metrics you can really give. And if you compare it to traditional markets, they have challenges because the data is not as open. Whereas I think it's a trick that we really missed in the crypto space, because all the data is available, right? All the wallets are public, everything's on chain, and the data, and we have the compute power to go in and get that and process it and present it to the users. So if we do that in the right way, I think it's highly, highly valuable for users to have that information. So that's one of the, that's why it's a core part of our product offering as well. And then your dashboard is where you personalize everything. We have a little chat box in there where all the users online at one time can chat. We'll have admins in there that can support you. And that's where we really start to, create a community around the YOP application, the platform and the protocol, and really offer something more to the community than just putting our product out there and then kind of ignoring them. We want them to be integrally, integrated into the community. They come in, they chat, they continue, kind of what happens in a disconnected way via Telegram. If you're in the app and if you're a user, you'd end up kind of start communicating here and sharing your thoughts on, which contract you want to go in, what you want, you're reviewing contracts and talking about that. The later versions, as we develop, will start a web, desktop, and tablet version where you can sync all three. Something similar you can see that other applications have done previously in financial markets very well. And then just our technology overall I want to talk about is the integration and where we see YOP going longer term beyond just what DeFi is. I think we can integrate storage protocols, we can introduce gaming, we can introduce NFTs. Once we have a platform that's robust, it has a good user interface, this is where we can start looking at options of deploying it on a network, on a decentralized network, possibly. Polka and Moonbeam is very interesting for that. But this is something that we again keep an eye on, see where the innovation is, and and keep bringing the latest and greatest technology from the space into our application, and giving the users what kind of whatever is the hot product in the market. So once we have that base platform, we think it'll be very easy for us to add on the additional products. Our user growth, as I discussed before, we grow in the crypto space, and then we kind of build out and leverage our partnerships within the traditional finance space and bring in more users. And I think hand in hand, both spaces will probably keep growing. Crypto space is growing phenomenally, and as is the digital asset space outside with renewed institutional investments. Our team is split across a few time zones. So I'm in the UK with a few close members of the team just supporting the administration and the project. Then we have our guys in Germany who are kind of our top tier reviews, and Marcus leads those out. And then we have a team in Kyiv, which is leading the blockchain engineering and the smart contracts. And then we have our designer and the UX UI in New York. And then we have a team in India, which is helping with the front end development. We have Roman in Philippines, who's helping with our web. And generally between Kyiv, Germany and London is, you could say, the core team. It's been working really, really well. Now we've been working for about 2-3 months now. And yeah, it works well. The teams kind of gel together quite well. They understand the vision, I think. And we're open to kind of, grow that. And rather than doing it, I think in, getting everybody in an office right now, and especially in the circumstances the world is right now, it would have been challenging anyway. So I've operated other projects like this, and they've always worked well because it gives us a lot of flexibility with the team. And at the same time, it's not as aggressive on our treasury, so we get a lot more for our money as well. So yeah, I think we're a great team. We're well balanced, and everybody's getting on well, and we're doing our work, and development's going well. Our tokenomics, so we've got max supply of 88 million, and initial supply is set at 13 million, but with the institutional investors coming in, that's going to be drawn down quite a lot. So from the 10.6 seed round, 3 million of those tokens are locked up for 12 to 18 months. So that makes it, again, more compelling. Our initial cap would have been 530K. Now it's going to be 380K. And we're looking at early January to get onto Uniswap and get the token out there in circulation. And that will follow on hot on the back, just after the application comes into the iOS store and people can start using it. So yeah, that's YOP. Any questions? And far away.
Yeah, no, that was a great pitch. I guess my primary question is, what do you feel is going to be your biggest use case for adoption in terms of end users who are going to use the platform and the protocol?
I think as I mentioned, generally individuals are becoming a bit more skeptical about centralized financial institutes, right? And as yield and interest rates go to zero or negative territories, right? Users are actively looking for alternatives. So, I mean, crypto has become an alt investment class, but I think it's moving away from that to now starting to become, rather than kind of an unorthodox investment, Bitcoin is a recognized global asset class, right? And on the back of that, DeFi, I think, serves the closest purpose to what we've seen to date. Some of us probably been around and we've seen, blockchain this, blockchain that. We're going to put tomatoes on the blockchain and we're going to do this and this and that. This use case of, decentralized finance and giving users the opportunity who are hungry for and have an appetite for, digital asset yield, I think that is a tremendous market, and it's such a big market. I don't think so just somebody like, an individual project like YOP will be able to capture it. This is going to be a competitive market, and I think what we would like to do is drive the market to kind of up the game so that the other competitors that come along, they increase that. But yeah, lots of users, I think, from just who are interested in depositing a portion of their wealth, not probably all of their wealth, or maybe not a hugely significant amount, but definitely I see as people kind of become more native to Bitcoin and Ethereum and token economy through the likes of PayPal, the use case and the users increase day by day. And the appetite there, starts to grow because, okay, I've got 500 euros spare here. Now, where do I put it? If I keep it in my bank, they probably charge me fees on it. Now there's a platform that's quite easy to engage. They have a fiat on ramp. It's, I'll put 500 there, or I'll put 1,000 there, relative to individuals' wealth. And that's one of the beauties of crypto, right? It doesn't discriminate. We're not a private bank just for the elite. we're for everybody. And we've been studying things along the line of UBI and how we can later, as we grow, really kind of level the playing field for an investor, where the same individual comes in who's got $100 and the same product works for somebody who's got $100,000, and that's just an amazing thing if we can achieve those things.
Awesome. I got a question from Twitter, and I'm going to pass it out to Dave. Someone on Twitter says, how does your protocol differ from other AMMs out there?
Yeah, so for the beginning, like I said, we're just going to aggregate the current AMMs and bring them in there. But then as we develop that, we'll bake it straight into our application. So the difference there is, like I mentioned, with the protocols only doing one thing each, either they're focused on being an AMM, or doing yield aggregation, or being a stablecoin provider. Being in one application, our protocol will be able to be dynamic in that sense. So it's not just an AMM protocol, right? So once we get to our own swap decks of YOP's native swap decks, we're not just an AMM, we're more than that. And we're basically everything that all the other protocols offer today and more.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
Thanks, Atif. So we're just going to follow on with some more questions that are coming in on social media, if that's okay. So you mentioned YFI earlier. There's a question that's asking how you're different from YFI. I don't know if you feel that's something you can
I think the biggest difference here is, one is only a protocol, and we are a platform and a protocol. And I think this is something, just a trick that generally is missed in the crypto space, because generally products and projects like the one that you've just mentioned are led by highly capable and technical people, outstanding amount of talent, but the commercial element is lacking there. And therefore, if you package up a protocol and a platform together, that's what uniquely positions YOP. And I don't think so you could really probably say today there's something out there like for like, where there's a team that has the talent to build the protocol and a team that has the talent to commercially launch the project. And I think we've proven that by winning over institutional investment, and the technology is already there because it's been proven by the open source smart contracts that are already out there. So I think by marrying the two, we're very, very unique in that sense.
No, very good, very good. Well, there's definitely some positive feedback already on social media, so that's a good thing.
I can't see my computer, so usually my phone's going, like all day today, my phone's been going mad because of the announcements that we made earlier. But yeah, I'll follow up with everybody. I would like to say, obviously, any questions, drop them into our Telegram. All our socials are YOPFi. So, Telegram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Medium, wherever you want to hit us up with any questions, or if you want to have a more in-depth discussion. I'm not the main developer, so everything technically I might not be able to answer, but we've got a whole team there, and generally when we have like tech calls, if there's anything that's missing, I'd always follow up and bring back the answer for you guys.
Perfect. So maybe just to close off, maybe you could update us with some of that news you referred to right now for anyone that wasn't aware of it, and maybe anything that's coming up that you can maybe disclose today to get people a bit more engaged.
Yeah, so the big announcement was today, Piraeus Investments PLC, London Stock Exchange listed company, that we went through weeks of due diligence and their kind of highly thorough process that they carry out and they have to conduct because they're a public company. So we just kind of passed that marker and we signed our agreements, and we announced today that they're invested. So they're our lead investor now, and we're about 75-80% complete in our fundraise. We're not really actively pursuing the fundraising now. What we would probably like to have is maybe a couple of strategic partners on board that would add a lot of value. Funding is not really the issue right now. And and we just, from that kind of milestone today, by announcing that and it going out onto the stock exchange, and we've been doing interviews and podcasts. There's some videos coming next week. and more material. We're going to start our marketing and start engaging with a lot more kind of people and coming out of, you know, our woodworks, as you would say, and getting the project out there. So we'll kind of look forward for many more AMAs, you know, presentations like this and discussions with everybody. We've got one with another group tomorrow, Commodore. Yeah, we just want to kind of build on that and get as much out as we can. And at the same time, we're very receptive and we're very open to feedback. So we're a project that, you know, doesn't want to be one way and just kind of send out. We want to receive, and where there's talent and there's you know, constructive feedback, we love that. So happy to receive that and take that on board and implement that into the project as we're in the early stages. But we believe we've got a fantastic product, and I think we can really grow into something really, really big.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
That's great. Yep. Thanks, Atif.
All
yeah,
right.
we really appreciate you coming out today.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the pitches, and maybe I'll be watching on the other side from YouTube. So
yeah, definitely. The next 3 days are going to be pretty powerful.
It's really nice. It's a great thing because you know, you're getting all sorts of different projects I've seen involved, and yeah, it's nice.
For sure. And cool. For those that are going to be tuning in tomorrow, just our quick schedule before we wrap up. We'll be starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be starting out with pitches to the incubator by Atanio Foundation and Surfarium Finance. Then we'll be having general pitches and AMAs with Unilend, Refinance on the tail end of session 1. And then on session 2, we'll be having a finance mentor for TDeFi, Simone Martin, 20 years of experience in the BVI. And then we'll be closing with CyberFi, Manifold, and Bahadler. We'll also have a 2-hour break in between there. That second session will start at 1:30 p.m. All right, Atif, we appreciate you coming on. Big thanks to all the team members at TDeFi and Trade Dog who have been helping to put this together today. It's been a very large effort, and we appreciate their sacrifice and the amount of hours they're putting in. So tomorrow, let's regroup and have day 2 of the TDeFi virtual summit and DeFi presentation.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Matt. See you tomorrow, buddy. Thanks, Atif.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Atif.
Bye.